Reports out of Connecticut right now, anywhere between 3, 4, get this, 5 inches an hour being reported in southeastern Connecticut right now. Let's take a look at that live pinpoint Doppler 12 radar, and it's that same area where we were monitoring that cloud to ground lightning. Keep in mind that whenever there's thunder snow, there's an intense lift in the atmosphere, and that lift is what produces precipitation, but that precipitation is coming down extra heavy with this extra lift that we have in the atmosphere. Let's take a look at that particular area right now, and you can see what I'm talking about. It's right in here in the Norwich area into Palmertown, anywhere between 3 to 5 inches of snow. That's not what's on the ground. That's per hour. That is what is falling. That is a lot of snow that we're seeing right there. And what we're going to be seeing is over the next several hours is that band of dark blue actually come back into southern New England. So if that band holds together, that intensity holds together, we're going to be seeing snowfall rates here in Rhode Island of perhaps up to 5 inches an hour. Now, with that said, Nicholas right there in West Greenwich reported a snowfall rate of 4 inches an hour there, and that's not even in the dark blue. So we're looking at just amazing energy in this atmosphere to produce that much lift and thus that much snow coming down across southeastern New England. Let's get a look at what's going on in terms of the CityCam picture. Actually, Tony, could you pop up the snowfall graphic, the what's fallen so far? We got some new information in and out there in West Greenwich, that seems to be somewhere some of the jackpot so far. 13 inches, just got a report there from Twitter. Attleboro 10.5, Chepachet 10, West Greenwich 10, West Warwick 11.5 inches. So we are seeing just tremendous amounts of snow, and you can see it there. That this is up I don't know 300-400 feet into the air and on top of the buildings in downtown Providence. So we are seeing a lot of snow, whiteout conditions up there at least, and especially down near the south coast. That's where we're seeing some of the whiteout conditions. Providence, Newport, Block Island, all hovering around the freezing mark. Here's another time-lapse photography, that University of Rhode Island time-lapse camera. I love this, and you can see it's just covered in snow right now. We're just seeing a tremendous amount of snow everywhere. Again, the blizzard definition, 35 miles an hour worth of wind, visibility under a quarter mile, lasts for 3 hours or more. You get those two factors in place, you get whiteout conditions, makes it almost impossible to drive. That's why the states of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and even Connecticut strongly wording travel not recommended. Even in Massachusetts, you can get fines out there if you are out on the roadways, because you're actually putting other people, first responders, in danger. So stay off the roads. It's really, unless it's an absolute emergency, you do not need to be out on the roads tonight. Heavy winds across the region, snowfall rates we've been talking about, just amazing snowfall rates. Even the blizzard is 78. I don't remember reading about anything as high as 5 inches an hour. I could be mistaken there, but I don't remember anything quite like that. Thunder snow is what we're expecting through the night. The brunt of the storm now till about sunrise tomorrow morning, and again it will be lingering into a good portion of the morning hours tomorrow and then ending in the afternoon. The wind gusts, this is the updated information that we've been tracking. Last half hour we saw a wind gust of 63 miles an hour. That's from the official observation site there in Nantucket. Newport 56 miles an hour, 39 miles an hour in Westerly. Now keep in mind, we're getting reports of snow 2, 3, 4, 5 inches caked on top of tree limbs and power lines. They're weighting down right now, and we're getting the winds blowing things around. It's just going to create those power lines to come down. That's why we're getting so many reports of power outages already, and we're only in the first few hours of the brunt of the storm. We have a long way to go. Unfortunately, this is what I've been worrying about for the last 24 hours or so, is the loss of power across southern New England. It's a lot worse than when we had an Irene and Sandy in terms of without the power, many households won't have heat. So we could be looking at a prolonged period without heat in many households. And look at the temperatures tonight. They're going to be falling down through the 20s and into the teens, around 15 degrees at 6 o'clock. o'clock tomorrow morning. So yeah, we're looking at a lot of snow to come down over the next 12 hours or so. It'll be winding down tomorrow afternoon as this whole weather system begins to pull away, and it's probably in the afternoon hours. That's when we'll be seeing the snow kind of taper off. And we really haven't changed the accumulation map too much. 24 to 30 inches of snow expected in this area. And you know what? Maybe we will change it a little bit. Maybe we'll drop this light blue area down a little bit further, because we're getting that snowfall rate of 4 to 5 inches an hour, and it hasn't really moved much over the last hour or so. So they're getting a lot of snow down there in southeastern Connecticut, and maybe even lower it down a little bit further into some parts of Rhode Island. So let's break it down hour by hour, how much we're expecting, or how we're expecting the snow to kind of pile up. By 8 p.m., we changed this a little bit as well, based upon what we're seeing on radar, based upon what we're getting from you guys at home. 9 inches by 8 p.m., which is now 14 inches expected by midnight. We upped that a little bit. And then for Saturday, we're expecting the snow first thing in the morning, 14, 20 inches, 4 o'clock in the morning, 22 by 8 a.m., and then probably tapering off around 2 feet or so by noontime. Now, areas inland, west and north of Providence, probably going to be seeing some slightly higher amounts, maybe approaching that 30-inch mark or here and there across the northern part of the state. So we are looking at, just a tremendous amount of snow coming down all at once with the wind. We can track this with our neighborhood Futurecast. You see this area of dark blue continuing to work its way across the region. And let's take a look at the timeline for tomorrow. First thing in the morning, the snow will begin to taper off a little bit. Still some very intense bands working their way across southeastern Massachusetts, and then in the afternoon we begin to see it pull away, at least for Rhode Island, nearby Massachusetts, and even in the afternoon might see a little bit of sunshine. But again, tomorrow we're looking at blowing and drifting snow really throughout the entire day, because the winds are still going to be whipping from the northwest throughout the daytime tomorrow. So while the roadways, some of them might be cleared, the snow is still going to be coming, blowing across them. At times you might even find some brief visibility issues tomorrow afternoon because of that blowing and drifting of snow. And of course that leads to even more icy conditions, slick conditions on the roadways for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, as temperatures will only be struggling to climb back through the 20s and 30s throughout the afternoon hours tomorrow. So we're looking at a number of impacts from this particular storm. We're tracking it. We're keeping you updated. We're looking at all your snowfall totals. Anything new, Tony? Any new updates?
No, just still hurricane force gusts across Lower Cape and the islands.
Hurricane force gusts across Cape Cod and the islands. So you get the picture. The storm continues to intensify. We'll keep you updated, of course, obviously through the evening hours. Mike?